Welcome to Attican Plays Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. All right, hi, this is Attican and welcome to episode 31 of series 4 of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Now we have a lot of construction activity going on, as you can see right here. I've queued up another coal mine and all the conveyors and some wiring over here and substation and all that good stuff. And we're letting our construction folks take care of all of that. And we've also queued up another bus stop here to relieve the congestion in the traffic going downtown. I've got a confused vehicle right here. He's probably trying to go someplace that I didn't tell him to go. He's probably trying to go to that transfer engine, but we're still building the road out to it. So I'm just going to let he can just stay confused for a minute. And we got more of them. We got one here too. All right, what's going on? Well, you know, I'm gonna have to let that run for a minute. I'll come back to it. I've also queued up 3 flats and another bus stop here. Plan is for these 3 to work here. They can go passenger and student here and here, so that's all taken care of. And they can go here to work, and we'll have buses that go out to the new coal mine for them to work. I've also gotten all 3 of our power plants up and running now. So they're all staffed, they're all producing power. I've got this one plugged in with high voltage wire that goes all the way over here and plugs into the Znatov grid, as I call it. It goes out this way to Seldany. And we've got everything going, and we've also got, we are just producing meat at a terrific rate. What else we got going on? And I've gone through and turned off all the imports for meat, food, clothing, alcohol, and electronics. And at all the pubs, all the shopping centers, small stores, grocery stores, warehouses that supply them, meat storage that supplies them, we are on our own now. And I am pretty confident we'll pass the test, partially because, well, we just will. I've also gone back through and looked at the education. I did find 2 pockets. I found a flat that couldn't walk to schools right in here. So I moved the people and blew it up. And they're right over here. And you can see we have some uneducated people, but those uneducated people, adults rather, are actually going to school. So here's one. Taking care of their baby. They're not going to school if they're taking care of their baby. What's the deal here? How could you ever have enough kindergartens? I don't think it's possible to have enough kindergartens. Well, you know what? Take care of your baby. We'll let our construction guys give them a couple of paths. And let's see here. Factory and Artist Gilmore, closest fire alerted. Shouldn't be a problem. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just kind of let it run. I'm just going to let it run for a year. It's toward the end of November 74. I'm going to let it run till the end of November 75 because I don't want to go out here and build new stuff, spend more money. We're just going to go on hiatus here as far as growth and see if we pass our test. And as I was saying, let me finish off that thought. There's 2 places where we had uneducated adults. As I said here, I moved them all into this flat, and they should be, most of them should be going to There, see, learning in the school. So even the uneducated are going to school, and even at that, our goal is 95%, and we have about 50 out of a population of 17,000. So we are in great shape on the education goal. We should be in good shape on the money goal, although I've spent a ton of rubles on some construction and vehicles and foreign manpower, bringing people in to do work, bringing in immigrants. But we're stopping all that, and we're just going to go on hiatus. So I'm just going to watch this run. I'm going to watch for any problems that I can see to make sure we don't have any goof ups that would cause a problem. I'm going to monitor the how many clothes do we have and all that good stuff, and keep that going, and just make sure they're not something like some foul up. But this is all working. Everything's working. Let's speed this up. Everything's working beautifully right now. So again, this is just going to be let it run. I'm going to fast forward through this and just pass it. Oh, there's our fire at this factory. Are they working on it? Yeah. We got firefighters out there doing their thing. Good job. Looks like we might have had some deaths. Yeah, 3 people died in that fire. That was a bad one. But they just go right back to work. All right, so this is going to be pretty boring. I will see you when it's over with, and we'll see how we did. All right, so I'm back. I've let this thing play out for a year as promised. And first, I want to just remind us all of what we're trying to accomplish. We were supposed to, by the U.S. selection of Ronald Reagan on November 4th, 1980, our people will be adequately educated, supplied, and happy, and our republic economically strong enough to withstand pressure from the United States to abandon the Soviet Republic. And our criteria, our test that we were going to run, was turn off imports of alcohol, food, clothes, meat, and electronics all across the map. And at the end of a 1-year period, we would achieve a happiness average of at least 95%, that we would have at least 90% of our adults with an education level of 1 or higher. We would have a 2 million ruble annual trade surplus and a $500,000 annual trade surplus. So let's go see how we did. So I turned and I'm going to have to say I thought I turned off all the imports. I had actually missed one warehouse that ended up importing a really small amount of clothes and a small amount of electronics. After I discussed this with the ruling committee, wouldn't you know, they ruled unanimously to ignore that as a rounding error and accept the results as published. So here's what we ended up with. We ended up with very happy people. We ended up with a population that grew about 1,700 people. So we increased in population during this time. I'm happy to report that we have 0 uneducated adults in our republic. I couldn't find one, so we're 100% on that goal. And then on the money side of things, let's go back to December of 1974. December 1, 1974, that's when the test started. I think you can see the results down there as I click back. We did all right. And through 30th November 1975, there's our official test. We had a trade surplus in rubles of just under 10 million and a trade surplus in dollars of just under 8 million. So we did absolutely fine. We passed all the tests and we're done. So hope you enjoyed that. So what I want to talk about now is what do you want to do next? And I probably should, before I go there, let me show you the few things I did because there were a couple of things. There was a minor brownout in Artist Gilmore right down here. So I had to run another line in off of this, another substation, to give it a little bit more power. So that was a minor thing. Then the one that kind of disappointed me, but it just comes back to what I've been saying, and I wish I'd just followed my own rules, or I wish I'd had these rules when I started. Use crop circles, roundabouts. Do not use any other kind of intersection because eventually you will have a problem. And what's happened is we've got a fair number of trains running now. We have overall across the map, we have, let's see, we show them all. Look at this, we have 2 pages of trains. Now, but of course, a lot of those, the motor wagons are our passenger lines, but it's just the same. That's a lot of trains. And what has happened here is that at one point we finally hit that critical mass where there were enough trains coming this way and enough trains coming that way. And I kept saying I need to fix this intersection right here. That sure enough, we had a gridlock situation that I had to fix right here. And it came down to, like it kind of always does, well, it came down to right here first, because if you'll remember, this line used to be, they used to touch, there was like an X here. Well, one thing, I deleted that so that these 2 lines, which are both going up the screen and this one coming down, don't touch each other until we have a merge like that. The merge is even a problem. This is no good. I will not do this again until this game has better signals. All my merges are going to be like this. They're all going to be crop circles, as I call them, or roundabouts, and they can have passing lanes and they can look pretty complex, like the one over at Barislav. I mean, that looks complex, but it's extremely simple. And that's the approach I'm taking for trains from now on until such time as the signals are way more sophisticated. And frankly, they don't ever have to be more sophisticated, and they may never be more sophisticated. I don't know. But I'm a crop circle guy from now on. They work. They don't have gridlock. They slow you down a little bit sometimes, but they do not have gridlock. So that was disappointing that my fancy left-hand turn that I was so proud of, left-hand turn lane, didn't really cut the mustard, especially right here. And, okay, what else? Oh, the other one is I was watching the food and clothing, and the one thing that's a little disappointing is if you have trains loading and you have trucks loading and you want to get those trucks out here, it's very hard to do that when the train is loading and hogging all the resources. So I was a little concerned about the food. I wasn't worried about alcohol. We produce plenty of alcohol. But the food and clothing I was concerned with for this area over here because they're getting it by truck. So I put in a food factory. We had a number of people without jobs down in here. So I put in a food factory at first and then added a clothing factory to it as well. And did pickups out of this road cargo station from the warehouse to deliver to here and here and here and over here. So that way I made sure that we had food and clothing here, and it all went perfectly fine. Like I said, we did really well. Just look at last year. We've got a great year going. We've got very happy people. We passed the test. So now, after talking about all of that, let's talk about what to do next. I'm going to come up with some sort of poll. I'll put it out here some way. I'll figure out how to do the polls in YouTube. And put a poll out here to ask you what to do next. Now, my thoughts are, one, we could start over. We could do Series 5 and start over and have a whole new set of goals. Now, I like goals. I like to be time boxed, but I would be perfectly willing, given the nature of this game, to have a goal that's more construction management and self-sufficiency. I would even be willing to take on the self-sufficiency goal, although I've never heard of anyone actually achieving that. It seems like the posts that I read on Steam are, everybody talks about, that was my goal, but I had to start over because of this, I had to start over because of that. I'd be willing to give that a shot and try to have a truly self-sufficient republic as a goal. So that's an option, to start over, go for self-sufficiency. I mean, we could try to do it here, but you got to think about that and plan for it all the way through. It's hard to just, go one route, having one set of goals in mind, and then suddenly say, oh, well, we're going to do something different. So start over with self-sufficiency and construction management as the goals. Second one would be just quit playing the game. I mean, if you're sick of it, let me know. We'll quit this one. I will definitely be taking a hiatus from it when a Railroad Corporation comes out with their challenges next month. I will definitely be taking a pause then. But I wouldn't mind playing this some more. I've enjoyed it. And let's see, what else? What else would be an option? Oh, keep going with this and get to the cars. I know that a lot of you wanted to see the cars. Now, if we did the self-sufficiency, obviously we'd have to do cars because that's part of the deal. Well, no, it really isn't. I mean, you could be self-sufficient without them, but we would do them. We would add the whole assembly line deal into the mix. And so that would be, okay, so what do we got? Start over, go for self-sufficiency, stop the game, do something else. Keep going with this one and work toward cars and just keep building this one. We could even go, we could keep doing this one and go with our optional stretch goal, which was by 1991 to have make sure that we are manufacturing everything that the game allows. I don't think that's going to be that much of a stretch. I mean, I could slap down 3 or 4 factories and a couple of supporting cities, and we'd be done with that. Because technically, all it says is you have to manufacture everything. That we can do. But so that's an option. So keep going with this one. Self-sufficiency, start over. Quit playing this game. If you got another game in mind, put it in there as a comment. So I'll put a poll out there, something to that effect. And I'm at the end of the day, it is my channel, and at the end of the day, it's my time. So yes, at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I want. But I do want your feedback, and I do want to know what you'd like to see. And I will absolutely take that into consideration before I decide what to do next. So I hope you've enjoyed this so far. I've enjoyed. I'll just put the cards on the table here. I've enjoyed great moments of this, and I have not enjoyed large chunks of this because one thing, this game is a ton of work. My goodness, it is a lot of work. It is satisfying when that work pays off and you do something well. And I've also, we've done a lot with the auto build and what have you, and taken liberties with that. And I wouldn't mind cutting back on that a little bit and doing more construction management. And we've seen that they're pretty doggone effective. I mean, look what a good job they did building out. Remember all this? They built our whole coal mine and all this stuff, and all these flats over here. They basically built this whole city here. It's not my best city, but they built it. And so, we'll definitely get more construction management going. And I do have, there are things about the power that irk me still, and I don't totally, I get the math, I get the way electricity works, that kind of stuff, but I don't get how to really apply it well to this game. And I would like to know, and if you guys know a good source where I could go find about that, let me know. But anyway, I'm just rambling because I feel like I'm done. I feel like I'm finished. And so I'm going to stop here. I'm going to put that poll out there. You guys respond. Let me know. Let me know if you've enjoyed this, and let me know what you'd like to see next.